Lord, what's going down, T-Subs and T-Squad? Listen, if you guys hear this ruckus going on in the background, that's my fan. I'm hot, and y'all hoes just gonna have to deal with it. So, y'all already know I'm here to give y'all. I'm here to give y'all Chasing LA, y'all. This is season 1 still. This is episode 3. Ramadan Dom. Hold on a second. Ring Around the Reeds, child. I must say, this was actually a really good episode, Chasing LA. It really was. This was a really good episode. Like, once these people started getting past all of the drama and the formalities and all of the rest of the snap, crackle, and popping that them damn girls give, this actually turned out to be a really decent episode. Hold on. And I ain't reading nobody. I'm just really thirsty this time. All right. So the episode continues where I left off at, and that was with Jayla and Quan ganging up on Alicia. And then KP tells Alicia she hopes she isn't in for the HBIC position because it's taken. KP, I'm going to get to your messy patty ass in a minute. Jayla and Quan, I'm going to be real, I didn't like the gang up. I felt like the gang up was just a little bit way too much. Like, I don't know. I just felt like both of you all was sitting there just ragtagging Alicia, and Alicia was just sitting there, you know, being calm and poised and allowing y'all to do it. And I'm not gonna lie, it kind of make y'all look like some damn bullies, and I'm just gonna be real. Like, the whole gang up shit, I'm not here with that. Like, Quan, I'm just gonna be real with you. Yeah, she was in the wrong for saying what she said, and yeah, I understand your feelings. But this is the thing, she didn't know you. And you didn't know her. So there was no possible way for her to have known whatever you went through in your past. I'm going to let that rest there because that's going to be the conversation down there in a minute. But I'm just going to be real. Jayla and Quan, and I like both of y'all. But y'all did just a little bit way too much in that moment for my personal liking. And KP, you messy as hell. Lord have mercy, Jesus. He messy. But he's kind of like my type of messy. Like, what he said and the way he said, that's probably how I would have came off back when I was in my early to mid 20s or whatever. But y'all know, because I'm 33 now, like, I just choose to be picky and choosy of when I want to throw shade and when I don't. And to be real, KP, don't create a problem with Alicia where there ain't one, because the gag is, ain't none of you bitches the HBIC. This is still the very first season. All of y'all are still new, and we all still trying to get to know y'all. And I'm sorry, these little mediocre reads that y'all be giving do not a HBIC make. All right, it takes a whole lot more than a bunch of tired ass reads for y'all to be considering any of y'all the HBIC, and that's just true tea. So then they started asking about Fran and where Fran at. And I was the same way. Like, where is Fran? I ain't seen Fran since the first episode. And don't get me wrong, this is only the third. But it's just like, you know, I'm expecting all of you all to be at work and be shown somehow, some way. Because all of y'all are still new. So I was kind of with them. Like, where was Fran? So then Andre goes to his friend's showroom and he meets up with Fran. And then Fran has a lot going on. Fran talks about, you know, how he's dealing with his business and, you know, he's dealing with, you know, different little money ventures and so on and so forth. Then he talks about how he and his boyfriend has an open relationship and how he came home and found the boyfriend with somebody else hiding up in the closet. And it's just a lot. But see, Fran, I'm going to tell you something. That's what you get, bitch. Listen, I share a lot of stuff and I'm all down for sharing because sharing is caring. But when it comes down to somebody that I'm intimately with in that moment, there's like, I just feel like open relationships are okay when, you know, you a college student, when you in your 20s, fine, you can get away with that. I just feel like me being in my 30s and I'm 33. Do I think in the stage of my life now that I'm willing to be in an open relationship? Girl, hell no. Hell no. I done been there and done that, and that's not what I want for my life. Now, don't get me wrong, friend. If it works for you and who you with, that's fine. But obviously it ain't. Because he's sitting around there hatting other bitches down up into your closet. Now, friend, you's a much better woman than I'll ever be because I would have killed everybody up in there walking. Whoever name ain't on this list, they would have been dead, done, gonzo, night, pushing up daisies. But I ain't trying to turn nobody into no mass murderer for no fuck niggas. So, I appreciate you for taking the high road, but I'm just saying. And then he talks about how his mom being in and out of the hospital, and that really did it for me because I went through that. My mama went through a point in the period when she was just being in and out of the hospital, and that does get exhausting, and it does get draining, and it does get tiring, and it does make you lose hope and lose focus of what's going on and what you got to do in your life. So my prayers are definitely for you and your mama, Fran, because I've been there, so I totally know what that's like. So Fly King guy Ian comes in freestyling down to her confessionals, honey, and I was for the freestyle. So Fran and Andre tells Fly King guy about their first experience with the rest of the group. I'm not so much upset about that, but what I didn't like, listen, I'm like this. If a bitch ain't did nothing to me, she all right with me. And while, yeah, that may be y'all experience, like what I wouldn't do is just start off with all of the bad. I just would have been like, listen, I was around them. Some of them some of them ruffled my feathers just a little bit, way too much for my personal liking. But I still want you to get to know them and formulate your own opinions off of them. And it just should have been left at that. Like, all of the rundown that you had going on, while it was funny, Andre, it was shady. And, if you want to rise above it and if you so professional, it would have just been easier to just say, listen, some of them are cool, some of them aren't, but you be around them and make your own judge and just leave it at that. Moving on. So Imani Van Zap give her assessment. Let me tell y'all why I rock with Imani and why Imani will always and forever will be alright with me. That bitch said what she meant and she meant what she said. Y'all heard what she said because she said it. And if you hoes is mad, then you hoes is just mad. I was here for Imani Van Zap. Now don't get me wrong. Did she do a little bit too much for some of y'all personal liking last episode? Depends on who you ask. For me, hell no. She did her job, and she wasn't wrong in none of her assessment. Not to mention, she said that she done already talked to Q, and she let Q know, this is what you hired me to do. Y'all didn't hire me to kiss ass. Y'all hired me to give y'all the actual factuals, and that's what I'm doing. Now, if you're giving me something good, I'm going to praise you. If you're giving me fuck shit and fuckery, I'm going to call you out. I won't mad at Imani for that. Won't mad at her at all. So, Fly King guy flies to LA for a photo shoot for his skincare line with photographer Jami, I hope I said his name right, who has an underwear collection, and he's a model agent himself. Listen, what I love the most about this chasing so far is that we're getting to see the drama, of course, but we're also seeing the same amount of the work ethic and what people are chasing. I love the fact that I'm seeing people with skincare lines and clothing lines and they rapping and choreographing and they're doing this and they're doing that, and I live for that. So I was with it. Hershey liqueur, baby. Let me tell y'all something. That's exactly why. Listen, I live for her. Live for her. But this fine chocolate thing right here, good God Almighty. So Hershey liqueur meets up with Alicia to catch up. Alicia talks about her issue with Jayla and feeling like comparing somebody's body to a stripper isn't insulting. And Hershey feels like everything that they went through was a misunderstanding. Because, yeah, Alicia, that's really all I took out of that whole thing. Because, Alicia, and don't get me wrong, I like you, Alicia. I still do. You ain't never did nothing to me, and I think you was a sweet person. But I want you to start taking some accountability for your actions as well. All right? Like, that. Let's not sit here and act like you was just sitting on your hands the whole time while they was just going in and letting have on you. Nah. Like the whole thing about how you don't think saying that somebody's body and comparing it to a stripper ain't an insult. Bitches, it is an insult. It's an insult, Alicia. Don't get me wrong. If I decide to lose weight right now and I decide to have an 8-pack and all of that, and somebody try to compare my body with a stripper body, I will feel some way. Okay? Because we all know how people secretly feel about strippers. So do I think I want me or any orifice of my body being compared to one? Girl, hell no. That's what I mean by taking accountability, Alicia. Like, other than that, Other than that, I was here for Hershey LaCour this entire episode because he was absolutely right. And Hershey LaCour said every damn thing that Imani Van Zap, myself, Scotty, and anybody else that been watching the last 2 episodes that review done said. It's just way too much too soon. And none of you all know each other to be sitting up here having this level of beef and controversy with each other. It's just dumb. And what I love about Hershey is she a woman when she wants to be, but she's all man. Okay, and I love the fact that she thinks like a man still, because like she's just like, listen, it's way too much. You fed into it the wrong way, and it got to be too much, and now it's just like a repeat, a revolving door. Every time we get amongst the collective now, there's always seems to be some beef or some drama, and it's dumb. I live for Hershey. Live for Hershey. And Hershey made it very clear. He got some words for Andre, too, because he ain't appreciate him and that comment and that crack he made about his makeup. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm down to hear it. So then D. Hawkins and Quan meet up because they're doing a photo shoot for Quan's new clothing line, I Am, which I liked what I saw, Quan the Poet, and I might be hitting you up real soon for, like, you know, a shirt or a hoodie or a blouse or something. I'm going to hit you up. So they talk about what happened the last time they was all around each other, and that was down to the pole dancing class. So D. Hawkins Quan talks about his coke issue, and then D. Hawkins talks about his song that he has coming out, where he's basically detailing about his life, not having his father around the way he should. And then he also brought up about how, what did he say? He was molested by females from the ages of 5 to 7. He was raped by his sister's ex-boyfriend and molested by the uncle. And he feels like maybe if his dad was in his life, none of that would have happened. And it's funny. It's funny, D. Hawkins, because we're actually on the Boys Night Out that I'm having on my channel tonight, 10:05, 9:05 Central Time, that I'm expecting all of y'all to be at. We're about to be discussing about parents and you know, the accountability that they need to hold when it comes down to, you know, parenting people like us and things like that. So I want y'all to stick around for that, and I really hope y'all listen. But I'm going to tell y'all something. First of all, I loved hearing that, and I loved hearing the story. And I'm with D. Hawkins. And I will say this, Quan. My heart goes out to you too, because again, I don't know what it's like to be addicted to crack or coke or nothing like that. I don't know what it's like, and I definitely applaud you and commend you for having enough wherewithal about yourself and your life to realize that there are things bigger than putting that shit up your nose, and it ain't meaning you or doing you no good. And I'm glad that you know, scratched your way up out of the sunken place, sis. I'm all here for you with that. However, I still feel like how you went in and have on Alicia, it was still way too much for my personal liking, because again, all it took was a, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm doing mighty fine. This is what I went through in my life, blah, blah, blah. And again, if y'all would have just taken the time to get to know one another and not be so quick to shade the first and I blame reality TV for this, because that's where reality TV is now. It's no longer about real life and real life issues and allowing people to connect with you on a real life level. It's just about shade. Who could throw the most shade? Who's throwing rocks and who's throwing boulders? Like, if it wasn't like that, maybe y'all could have gotten along, because I still don't feel like none of y'all got a problem with one another. Y'all don't know each other to have a problem with one another. Moving on. So Jeremy is the choreographer for a new LGBTQ ABC 123 XYZ community musical. Again, shout out to the producers and Q for showing what everybody is actually chasing, and I'm here for it. And shout out to Jeremy, because y'all know I love me some Jeremy. Okay, shout out Jeremy. So then the group goes out Baldwin Hills for hiking, and this was D. Hawkins' idea. He wanted to invite all of the girls out to go exercise, and maybe they could just sweat the tension away enough to where everybody could really have a come to Jesus moment. The new confessional space was cute. I kind of liked the new confessional space. I did. I liked the new confessional space. Yeah, and for the most part, I liked how everybody is now started, well, almost everybody is starting to, you know, get some type of coordination when it comes to the confessional looks. I'm all down for a bitch wearing what she want to wear, but everything needs to be done in decency and in order. Like, make it look like something at least. Anyway, Andre decides to show up. I'm glad that you showed up, Andre. Andre, I'm gonna be, and again, I like everybody around there. Ain't never one of y'all did nothing to me deep enough to where I'm over here just straight up going in and letting have. I ain't got no problem with none of y'all. Andre, I'm gonna be real. You looked real foolish. I'm not gonna say stupid. You looked real foolish sitting up there going to lay down some illegitimate tea that's not backed up by any facts down to Hershey. And Hershey got your ass together when she said, child, I worked at that hamburger joint several times in my life, and I've never once seen Alicia setting up there working for them, and that's the reason why she blocked everybody on social media. You know what I'm saying? Like that right there, Andre. Like that's so sissy-ish. Like that's just so sissy. Like that's some sissy ass shit. And you got all in your feelings about KP calling you a sissy, but girl, that was a sissy move, and you got absolutely nothing for it. No shade though. Moving on. So then Julie, Jayla, and Alicia talk. I'm so glad that y'all talked. Again, y'all never had an issue with one another that was deep enough to the point where y'all just can't get over it. Because again, y'all don't know each other. None of y'all know each other. So I'm real glad that both of y'all were being mature ladies, because both of you all are women. I'm really glad that the both of you all sat down, well, stood up and talked like two grown-ass women and say, girl, look, I ain't got no beef. I ain't got no issue. It was a misunderstanding. It is what it is. We're taking baby steps, and maybe one day we could get to a point where if somebody talking about you in front of my presence, I can go in and let have on them, and you don't feel like I'm infringing on your shit. And I was here for that. That's real grown woman lady-like conduct. I was here for it. And that was the end of the episode, you guys. So like I said, this episode was a whole hell of a lot better than the past two episodes. I appreciate the genuine stories that you guys laid out. I appreciate the level of truths that you all laid out. And that's what we like to see. It's okay to have the drama, the cussing, the spitting, the hitting, the kicking. I'm with that. But I'm also with the real, because this is reality TV. So I appreciate that. Hopefully it continues to go in this direction. And yeah, until next time, I'm going to holler at y'all later. Bye.
What you're giving, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in the business.